have with us Dr. Sajid Puthan. So first of all, a heartfelt congratulations to all the aspirants who have cleared the mains examination, APSC Mains 2021. Well, it was really a long journey till now, I know that, and you have waited for this day for a long time, right? I have got some calls who were really happy when they informed me about their results. And that was really like, I also felt happiness when they informed their positive results, right? When they told me that they have cleared the mains examination. But along with that, there were few aspirants or students that we had who were also deserving, I believe. But unfortunately, they were not able to clear the mains examination. So it was really a sad moment when I shared their thoughts and when I talked with them. But anyway, this is life, this is competition. Somewhere you fall, somewhere you rise up, and you guys are the people who have shown that yes, you have the capability to go ahead and become an important asset of this beautiful state of Assam, right? Anyway, congratulations from the whole family of Academy of Civil Services. And yes, now there is no turning back, my dear aspirant. So it is the ultimate stage or step for your success. You can say there is just 2 to 3 steps ahead for that glory that you were waiting for this so long, right? So therefore, no turning back. It's a do or die situation. So yes, we have some plan for you, and we are planning some way or some procedure by which we feel that you will gain confidence. And yes, if we feel that there is any kind of loophole regarding your interview preparation, then we will try to solve them as well. So again, we welcome you all to Academy of Civil Services, the last stage of your success. And we have planned out some things which Dr. Sajid, he will explain you in detail. Today is a session where we will give you some tips and some guidance, what you need to note down for this interview preparation. And along with that, we will also inform you what other plans we have for the upcoming days that is left. Yes, they have declared that from 26th May, they're going to start the interview, but mostly the number of the or the serial order of the interview comes by the alphabetic order. According to our past students, they told us that most of the candidates who has similar alphabets were called together. So therefore, we also believe that they might call you alphabetic order. So anyway, whatever it is, doesn't matter, as you were never afraid of the prelims, as you were never afraid of the mains, and you have come out of that competition. Now, this is just a time to enjoy, right? It is a time to be mentally free and yes, to show the humbleness that you have. Only one line guidance I want to tell you all. In my experience from 2016, what I have seen is that those people who have actually cleared the interview, those people, I actually love them. Why? Because of their humbleness, because of their politeness, and because of their simplicity. So I believe that to go out or go through this interview stage, the best key is to be humble, to be simple, and yes, to be very, very polite when you speak any kind of words, right? Well, Dr. Sajid is here. He will be an expert in advising you all the tips and the tricks on getting ahead and crossing the interview stage. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Stay tuned, and I will be back again. Dr. Sajid, I would request you to carry on this session. Thank you.
Yeah, a warm good evening, all of you. And once again, and I want to congratulate you all for reaching into this particular position. That is, you are in the final stage of your success into civil services. That is the interview, because I know that how much enjoyment will be there at this point of time. I have already appeared the interview of UPSC Civil Services examination. Then I can understand how much happy I was when the mains result of the UPSC was declared. We are confident at one side, that is, I'm about to get into a service. Other side, you might have some tension as well, and how will be the interview and how I will prepare for it and how I will approach the interview. Then today, and the session's intention is not only to congratulate you, to start our guidance on how you have to be prepared for the interview from A to Z. And we should take care of each and every aspect of interview, starting from dressing, starting from the way of presentation. Even if you are going directly for the interview, you might have a confusion where I will put my hands, whether I will put on my lap or I will put on the desk in front of me, which one will make a beautiful presentation of myself, because the interview is for the civil services or Indian bureaucracy or the state bureaucracy. You should show all the requirements. You have to show that I have all the requirements demanded by the state for a bureaucrat. Then that is the interview. It's not a simple job interview. In job interview, a private firm might look into your potential and other things, but a bureaucratic interview, government is looking, are you suitable for the service of government of the state, or are you suitable for the bureaucracy of the state? Then we have to take care of a lot of things. My first part is that present your personality, because this is normally known as a personality test more than an interview. And usually we use the term personality test for civil services. Then first part should be presenting our personality. Normally we know when we dress up very well with a formal shirt and formal pants, and if you are comfortable with a tie, then we get a new look. Am I right or not? More than going in a t-shirt and jeans in an informal way. When you are presenting yourself in a formal dress code, you yourself feel confident sometimes. And I don't know how you feel. I feel confident when I'm coming with a formal dress. My students might have seen that most of the day I'm coming to the class in a formal dress. Then when you are speaking something after having a proper formal dressing, you yourself will get some confidence. That is why another thing, and we should look quite fit for the service also. In the look also there is some impression. That is why you should take care of your dressing first. There is a problem. If you are a person normally going in a casual dress, and normally you used to wear the casual dress, one day immediately for the civil services interview you are going for a formal dress, then you might face some problem. You might feel uncomfortable inside the dress. Have you ever experienced it? Suddenly when you are going into a dressing change, you might feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you might have seen some small children when they are getting first time a wristwatch, and they will have a tendency to keep the arms this way sometimes or this way. Some changes will be there in their behavior because they are going for the wristwatch for first time in the life. Similarly, if you are used to a normal dressing, when you are going into a formal dress and formal shoe, when you are going for normally in the sports shoe, here interview, I suggest you a black shoe or a brown shoe with good polishing and with the lace, not without the lace. The slip-on shoe might not be much looking formal. And I'm not telling that they will look into every aspect. They will look into your shoe. They will look into your dress. More than that, you should be comfortable. You should be feeling confident of yourself. The dress gives you self-confidence first. Second thing, a good look. And that will create an impression in the first impression in the mind of the examiner. Having a first impression in the mind of the examiner will give us some extra marks. That is why dressing up, whatever you feel formal and comfortable for you. Never go for the casual dress. For male, you can go for the formal shirt and formal pants, some light color shirt and dark color pants, and a formal shoe, and having a formal haircut. These are the things you have to take care in the case of male. Female, and whatever you feel comfortable, if it is sari and you are looking good, and you can go by the sari or any salwar, that is formal dress, whatever formal you are comfortable in. Then everything, hairstyle and everything, that will be formal. Then dressing up in a formal way. Now, when you are going for the mock interviews, coming for the mock interviews, please come with the same dress code. That will make you familiar. Definitely, for the day of interview, you can go for a new dress, but in the same pattern of the formal dress code, you can come for the mock interview. Then you will be familiar with that interview dress code. You will not feel uncomfortable on the day of interview. Second thing, definitely the interview board members, they will be old people. They will have a habit of reading newspaper every day. They will definitely come for the interview after reading the newspaper of that particular day. Sometimes what happens to us is that we are getting ready for interview, going out early morning to the APSC office in Guwahati. We might not be able to get the hard copy of the newspaper of the day, but somehow you arrange Assam Tribune and other important newspapers soft copy and go through the important news. In my interview, in my UPSC interview, they asked me the question, have you gone through the newspaper of today? I had already gone through the Hindu newspaper. Then they asked me which is the most important headline of the day. I told one headline. They asked some questions on that. Then again, they asked that what is another important headline of the day. Two news, they asked questions from the same day newspaper. That is why read the newspaper of the day before going to the interview. Somehow arrange in your mobile phone the newspaper soft copy and go through the headlines at least. Next one, entering into the interview hall. You might be asked to sit outside the interview hall, waiting for the one person already inside to finish his interview. When the person inside, his interview finishes, he will go out. Immediately, you should not enter. One peon or somebody will inform you, it is your turn, you are called. Then also you go, the door will be most of the time, because these are small things, we get confused. The door will be closed, and instantly opening the door and entering and going and sitting in the chair is not a good habit. We should have some manners in the life. You can, if you want, you can knock on the door. Then they will tell, please come in. Sometimes you might not listen, they are telling, opening the door and going inside, or opening the door and somehow showing yourself. You look who is the interview board chairperson. If he is a man, you can tell, may I come in, sir? If she is a woman, you have to tell that, may I come in, madam, or may I come in, ma'am. Taking permission when you are entering into a place, official place, is a part of our manners in bureaucracy. Without taking permission, don't go there. Now, you are going there and they will tell that, yes, please come in. And definitely, and when they are telling, yes, please come in, sometimes you will have to walk a little bit to reach to the near to the interview board. While walking, don't look down and walk. That is a bad habit. Am I right or not? Sometimes we will not take care of these things. We are looking down and not looking on the face of the interview board members. We are looking down and walking. They will reduce the marks. You have to look on the face of the interview board chairperson and other members, and somehow, and wish them, means somehow smile, at least smile on them, and smiling, showing your confidence, you have to walk straight. Never look here and there while walking, and never enjoy the beauty of the pictures on the wall. Never look down. These are bad habits, bad manners. And negative manners. Positive manner, a confident person will have the confidence to look the face of the other person and smile and walk. Next one, you are directly going and there will be one seat empty. Directly going and sitting there. Yes, directly going and sitting there is also not good. Sometimes it might happen you are sitting on a wrong chair. It might be one interview board members, might be, I'm telling that, it might not be the chair supposed for you. It might be the chair of one interview board member. He just went to the washroom When he is coming back, you are sitting there. Initially itself, you will lose your confidence. They will ask you, this is not your chair is there, that one, please sit there. That might create some lack of confidence inside you. Some disturbance might be created. That is why walking, go behind the chair and stand there. Then they will ask you, please sit down. If they are not asking you to sit down, you can ask them, can I sit here or may I sit here? Then they will ask, yes, you can come and sit. Then after confirming in interview, everything you should do after and showing your well behavior and manners, and after proper confirmation should not create any disturbance. That is, you might not see your chair is on the other side, you are going and sitting on another person's chair, means it will create a negative impression regarding you. Then you should take care of these things. After sitting, your task finished. Now they have to, and sit, while sitting also, what should be your sitting posture? Never, again I'm telling, never look down to your lap and sit this way. Look on the face of the interview board. Your chair will be direct opposite to interview board chairperson. Look on the face of the interview board chairperson, and your sitting posture should be straight, should not be bending this way, should not be too much this way. And that all these are in Indian culture, and not only Indian culture, interview culture, these are negative postures. You should be straight. Instead of putting your arms on the table, on the desk in front of you, that also you look and superior to the interview board members. Better to put the hands this way, and this I'm unable to show you exactly because of this video. I think you can understand what I'm talking. And putting your hands and in your own lap or on the hands of the chair, you can get the support and sit this way. And straight, your posture should be straight. You should not, head should not be down or up or looking this side, that side should not be the, should look on the face of the interview board chairperson. Then sometimes suddenly they might ask, their purpose is verifying, are you the same person coming for interview? Suddenly that they might ask, can you tell me what is your registration number? Then you should not get confused. What is my registration number? I forgot it. That should not be the, you should be able to recall your registration number and the admit card number, whatever it is. Their intention is to simply verify, are you the same person? But that unexpected question might create a trouble inside you, might create a confusion inside you. Sometimes they might ask you, can you tell me what is your date of birth? And can you tell me your name? Name anyway will tell. And sometimes they will ask that, and can you tell me what is your date of birth? Intention of them is to verify, are you the same person? But you will get confused. What is my date of birth? I'm unable to recall, and should not be that much nervous, because these unexpected questions sometimes comes, we will be shocked. Then you should be prepared for such questions. Anything to verify from your document, they might ask you initially. Sometimes simply they will be doing the verification process. What is your name? Instead of telling my name is Rahul Gagoi, you are telling that I am Rahul Gagoi, I'm coming from this particular place, and I have done this graduation, this master's. Nobody asked you to introduce yourself. Am I right? They simply asked, the person simply asked your name, and he or she wants to match whether the person she is going to interview is the same person sitting in front of her. And you started introducing yourself. Should not happen. Listen to the question carefully. If they are asking, what is your name? Tell the name. Never ever expect that they will simply ask, the first question will be, please introduce yourself. Then whatever you are listening half, starting introduction of yourself will attract a negative marks. Then entry to the hall, you have to take care. Sitting posture, you have to take care. And next one, hand movement and position. While talking, and can you move your hand? Sometimes they will ask some theoretical question. If your optional subject is sociology or political science, they might be asking some theory of political science on optional subject. And when you are explaining the theory, sometimes natural hand movements might happen. Let it happen. But never make any artificial hand movement. It will be boring to watch. Then If they are asking you, and if they are asking you a question, automatically, naturally, in a simple way, hand movement is coming from you, it is acceptable. But never ever make any artificial hand movement. You should not make it. Next one, as I told you, introduction. Introduce yourself. If they ask to introduce yourself, then prepare a good introduction, but it should never feel that you by-hearted an introduction or memorized an introduction and you are giving the memorized one. That should not be the. It should be something coming naturally. You should not memorize, but you should have the points regarding you. What you are, you should have some unique points on you. If you have participated in any seminars or international events or any youth program, you can highlight it. It is an advantage. If you have written any article, if you have a habit of writing in newspaper, habit of writing any poetry, sometimes something unique regarding you, you can add in the introduction more than the general introduction. Everybody will have the 10 certificate. They also know that you reached here after having a 10 certificate and 12 certificate, and after having a graduation. Then instead of telling I studied my 10 standard in this particular school, 12 standard in the other particular school, almost everything is known to them. You have already given, because they are sure that without a graduation, nobody will come for the APSC interview. Hence, you should try to include something unique which will create an impression in their mind regarding yourself. Then that should be the introduce yourself, should not be a conventional introduction everybody is giving. They might be listening some 5-10 introduction before you. When you come, they should get some interesting point they should be able to get from yourself. Your introduction becomes something beautiful for them. Next one, finally, interview finished, and we will discuss, we'll do the mock interview and other things we will do. You can understand how the interview, I'm talking the basic manners. Interview finished, you are they asked that, yes, Mr. X or Y, no, you can leave, the interview has finished. When you are leaving, stand up and directly go back to the door. While going back, sometimes there might be interview board members might be discussing your marks, how much they will give you. They might be discussing something. You should never look back. We have a tendency in Indian culture, when somebody is talking from behind, we have a tendency automatically to look back. How many of you feel it is a bad habit? When some elders are speaking, you are coming out of the discussion, after discussion with them, when some elders are speaking, again you are looking back. You are trying to listen what they are speaking, how much marks they are going to give you. If they are about to give you some 200 marks, they will reduce 50 at that point of time. Yes, and they will make it 150. That is why never ever look back. And when you are going back, and in a decent way, go out of the examination hall or the interview hall. That is how you have to move back out of the examination hall or the interview hall. Next one. This one I have already mentioned in a YouTube video earlier. You should know yourself. Questions might come regarding yourself. What is one probability of the questions? Knowing yourself means that in the application form of the mains examination, you have given multiple data regarding yourself. You have explained who are you in the application of the mains examination. Your name, if your name is a unique name, and you should know what is the meaning of your name. What is the uniqueness? If your name is Siddharth, they might ask you a question regarding Gautama Siddhartha, and regarding Buddhism, it might lead into a question regarding Buddhism. Then if some dignitaries or historic persons are there with the same name, definitely question will come on those historic personalities. And sometimes the complete interview might be focusing on that single name itself. Then your name, father's name, mother's name, if some uniqueness is there, at least you should know the name, the meaning of the name. Next one, your educational qualifications, schools and colleges you studied. For example, you studied in a Kendriya Vidyalaya, You studied in Don Bosco School or you studied in Little Flower School. Who is Don Bosco? Why the name Don Bosco School came? What is the Kendriya Vidyalaya concept? And they might ask you, how did you experience the quality of education in Kendriya Vidyalaya? Or how did you experience the quality of education in your Don Bosco school? Question might come. College or university? Imagine one person studied in Cotton College or Cotton University. What is this concept of cotton? Given the name of a college or university, what is the reason behind that? Question might come, and on that aspect, this is information you have given yourselves to APSC. You should know who are you better than anybody else. If you have any employment experience in the application form, there is a column to fill up the employment experience. Question might come, how was your experience of working in a government field earlier? How was your experience of working in a private field earlier? What employment reforms we have to do? What benefits you are expecting more from the companies to be given to you? What are the problems faced by the people working in private sector? Multiple questions might come. Why did you leave that job? Why you want to come to civil services by leaving that particular job? You should have a concrete reason. You should find it out. Address, place, and district. The place where you are coming from. If you are from Sibsagar, if you are from Jorhat, if you are from Dibrugarh, if you are from Borpeta, if you are from Dubri, what is the speciality of the region or the district or the place you come from? At least you should be able to know 3 unique features of the district or the place you are coming from. Some historic importance will be there. Some cultural distinctiveness might be there. Some linguistic specialities might be there. Then some eminent personalities might have been lived or maybe living at present also from the same place you belong to. And all these might come in the question. Next, again, choice of post preference. Majority of you might have given ACS as your first preference. Am I right? Could you please raise the hands if you have given ACS as your first preference? Yes, if somebody has given APS, Assam Police Service, as your first preference, you have to explain why you are more interested in police than civil services. That might be a question. Civil services, why are you interested in civil services? Generally, everybody is interested more in civil services. But if someone has given APS, Assam Police Service as the first preference, question might come, why police service first, not civil services? That is not a common thing. That is why question might come on your preferences as well. Next one, optional subject. You try to recall the important points of the not much in detail, and they might ask you why you have selected this particular optional subject. What is a subject? From here, a question might come. What is a subject you studied for the graduation? Why you shifted from engineering into political science or sociology? Were you not that much good in engineering? That type of questions might come regarding optional subject, and you should have a general understanding of the optional subject. And sometimes a professor sitting in the interview board, he's a professor of political science or sociology, and your optional subject is also political science or sociology. Normally, professors will have a tendency to ask you a question on theories. They are good in theories, then sociological theories, political science theories, historic theories, all the social science subjects, if you have taken as an optional subject, and you make up and revise your theories once again for the interview purpose. Now, commonly, questions might come on current events. Important current events which are at present in the news might be a question. Different from the prelims and the mains examination, questions from current affairs in interview will be general questions. For example, what are the reasons for the war between Russia and Ukraine? Because of the war, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization was in news. What is the objection of Russia in Ukraine joining NATO? Sometimes they might ask a general way also. What is your opinion on war? What should be India's diplomatic stand when war happens between the two countries? Article 51, promotion of international peace and security. What is your opinion on the stand of the present government and on the war between Russia and Ukraine? Multiple general questions. Instead of going in depth into all the regions, what happened there and how this particular territory or how this particular region of Ukraine was conquered by Russia, what is the present status, what are the weapons used, more than that. General questions on war can be expected. That is why, and as this is a expected area of question, I want to give you some details of the important current affairs at present, some important current topics in debate at present. First one is, and you make a probable list of questions from these topics. I'm giving you top 20 current affairs topics today. In future also, I will try to give you more current affairs topics relevant for the interview. First one, Russia-Ukraine war. All of you agree that that might be a general person's question. Sri Lankan economic crisis and emergency in Sri Lanka. Yes, one of the most important topic at present related to India as well. India-China border dispute, Galvan Valley, Sangpo Lake, and all these issues might be coming in the question, especially the Chinese settlements in rural Arunachal Pradesh related to northeastern states. Armed Forces Special Powers Act. All of you must have noticed that government has an intention at present to repeal Armed Forces Special Powers Act, especially from the northeastern states of India. Citizenship Amendment Act implementation. Recently, there was a statement from Home Minister, and he wants to implement very soon as the COVID-19 crisis finishes. Sedition law. Recently, Supreme Court has frozen the sedition law, section 124A of Indian Penal Code. Sedition law, the history of sedition law. Mahatma Gandhi was persecuted for sedition law. Bala Gangadhara Tilak, and the historic importance of the sedition law. Your opinion, whether we should continue a British law even today in a modern democratic India, yes or not. Agriculture and Farm Acts. It was also historic. The Farm Acts were repealed. An act passed by Parliament of India, then repealed, was very rare in the Indian history. COVID-19 vaccination policy of the government. WHO, World Health Organization. Recently, there was a controversial report of WHO. World Health Organization had a report that is 47 million and Indians died out of COVID-19. Then India has a criticism of the WHO methodology of assessing the number of COVID-19 deaths. Nepal and balance of payment crisis. Again, in Sri Lankan crisis and Nepal crisis, the role of China and the concept of sovereign debt fund, and the sovereign debt fund has created the crisis in Sri Lanka. It is again creating crisis and the balance of payment crisis in Nepal as well. PM Divine Scheme, Prime Minister's Development in Northeast India scheme, which was declared by the 2022-23 Union Budget. Then, as it is something specific to Northeast India, you should understand that specific scheme as well. Next one, flood in Assam. It's a yearly current affairs, and how to manage the flood disaster in the state of Assam. A question can be expected. Cryptocurrency, and you should understand at least the basics, because cryptocurrency was also mentioned in the budget. Then government is going to legalize cryptocurrency with a transaction tax. Then cryptocurrency, how it functions and what is that. Sometimes a general question might come. You might have heard of cryptocurrency recently in the news. What is that? How it functions? PM Gedi Shakti program. It is a new scheme launched in October 2021 for infrastructure development in India. Child marriage and age at marriage in India. Recently, there was a news. Government is going to increase the age at marriage for the girls from 18 to 21. Role of women in sports, especially the women from Northeast India in the sports, and India's increasing advantage in the sports. We got a gold medal in Olympics recently. Multiple other medals were also, and Lavlina Borgohain from the state of Assam. Then role of women, the women empowerment through the sports, and especially in the context of Northeast India, cyber crimes day by day increasing, and new education policy of the government, Hindi language for entire India, because these are the common topics and common topics in the attention of everybody. Hence, they might ask your opinion. What about making Hindi as the official language in Assam as well? And do you support it or not? Or can Hindi be made the national language? Presently, it is only the official language of India. Then status of Hindi also you should understand. Medical education in India, the scarcity of the seats, because during Ukraine crisis, and government of India's evacuation scheme, and large number of Indian medical students from Ukraine were evacuated from the war-ridden Ukraine. What about their future education? Why Indian students are forced to move outside India for their medical education? Why we are unable to create adequate seats in India itself? Conflict on the places of religion, the Gyanvapi Masjid issue you might have seen in the news, and different arguments on Taj Mahal, Qutub Minar. Conflict is rising conflict on the places of religion or historic places in India. What is your opinion? Whether we should continue the status quo or we should go by the cases? Supreme Court and High Court should entertain all these cases. What is your opinion might come as a question. Then I hope that these are the 20 topics I am giving, and today this is, and whatever came to my mind as per the analysis from morning till evening today. And if more topics are coming in the future sessions, I will share with you the more current affairs topics relevant for the interview. Next one, coming to the final thing, ACS mock interview program. Different from normal mock interviews, definitely. When you are going for a mock interview, initially, I also experienced it. During my UPSC preparation, interview preparation, I was going into multiple mock interviews. Some mock interviews demotivated me. Demotivating means that they will ask a very tough question. In one mock interview, that time, there was a conflict in Syria, and conflict still there is in Syria. Then one mock interview, when I entered, without asking any other question, I got a question. What is your opinion on the conflict in Syria? I was shocked only. I don't know anything on the Syrian conflict. And I told, frankly, I have not studied much on the conflict in Syria. Then the interviewer got angry. This mock interview only, not real interview. Even without knowing such a hot international topic, how do you expect you will qualify the UPSC interview? And my complete confidence went down and I became nervous. I was unable to any of the questions or in that particular interview. That was one of the earliest experience demotivated me. To avoid it, obviously, when a common interview board is set with the senior persons, retired persons and others, they might ask you multiple way the question. That might be sometimes the real interview experience also. But before moving into the mock interview by the retired people or the senior officers or the retired officers will do that. Before that, we'll go for one-to-one training. That starts immediately. We are planning to start from day after tomorrow itself. And if you are getting the interview date, one-to-one training means that, for example, I will be there alone. You will also be there. And we will do that first step in the online mode, because instead of everybody coming to Guwahati or Dibrugarh, we'll do the first step online, only 2 persons. And I will be there, you will be also there. And I will ask the questions based on your background, your form, multiple questions, many questions I will ask. You will answer. After answering, instead of going to next question, I will try to interact with you how you can frame up this answer in a better way. Instead of making a formal mock, we'll never not do anything, no recording, nothing. We'll simply do recording. We can do for your development. Instead of making it as a formal interview, we will make it as a one-to-one training. if this question comes, how do you answer? Then you are making up an answer and telling the answer. After the answer, we'll discuss that how you can improve. I will tell you my suggestion also. You can improve this answer by adding these points. Then this is called as improvement session. And we will do first one-to-one improvement session. Then we will go for mock interview. And we are planning to start immediately, mostly on Sunday. And if the dates are coming and you are getting your dates, the first slots, whoever have the date of interview will go for the formal mock interview. In the formal mock interview, senior officers will be there, and it will be exactly like a APSC interview. When you are entering, it will be in Guwahati center of the ACS. And when you are entering, you have to take care of all the things I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation today. Then you come and do the formal interview. That will be recorded properly. You can watch it again. That is the best person to understand your own mistakes will be you yourself. That interview will be recorded and with 2 cameras, and after recording, you will be given the recordings in a pen drive. You can watch your recording and understand where I have to improve. Because when you are speaking, when you are behaving and presenting yourself, you might not be able to understand where I have the problem. When you are watching your own presentation, in your hand movement, in your body language, and in your anything, if some problem is there, you can understand that. Now, after doing the mock interview, I will also analyze your mock interviews videos and other things. Then how to improve, what changes have to be done. We will give you a personal attention on the final preparation. This is the plan, because I made the plan based on my experience, because going initially for the mock interview without any person-to-person training, it was a bad experience for me. That demotivated me. That is why instead of demotivating you, we want to support you in the beginning. Next, you go by the formal people and the old people, not the young age people like me. And if possible, I will try to be there. Otherwise, Mr. Ashif will be there and other old people will be there. Senior retired people will be there, similar to APSC's interview board. And you take that model interview. Then finally, we will do the personal attention on the final preparation. This is what Academy of Civil Services is planning. Along with that, and I will share with you in the WhatsApp group whatever important current events are coming into my mind, from where probability of questions are there. This is what I want to share with you. I hope that all of you got a lot of content and you understood a lot of things you should take care during the interview. Yes. Okay. Then if you have any question or anything to ask, you can ask now. And I'm taking the Krishesh Das. Sir, kindly provide more current topics in the coming days. I will definitely do that. Nayan Borwa, thank you. Kindly add me in the WhatsApp group. And to add you in the WhatsApp group, and I can do one thing. I can send you the number and you can send a message that 9085 268 and I'm sharing the number in the chat itself, and you can send the message, the 9085 268 you can send the message and then they will add you in the WhatsApp group. Formal interviewers, not for all, you will get a call from the office and you will get according to your alphabetic order. Those who have the names starting with A, you will get a call. Everything, the first one will be one-to-one training, starts on Saturday. And for Saturday, what is your time? For example, your time is 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 8:15 a.m. You'll get the time slot and you'll get a link to join that program also in the first one. And then after that, you will get a time for the mock interview. You don't need to waste the time coming and waiting for a long time. You'll get a time 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. in Guwahati center. They will come, the office will communicate you over phone, taking your convenience. Also, somebody is unable to come, that slot, no point of keeping empty. We'll add another person to that slot. You will be given another slot. Then after discussion with you individually, the things will be decided. Yeah, and you can attend the offline. Anyway, interview is offline, mock interview is offline. Only one-to-one training will be online and mock interview will be offline only. Yes. Nayan Borwa and anybody else, if you have any doubt or any question, you can ask me. And sir, Inamul Haq, usually how much time takes for an interview for one candidate depends on the board. Previously, some students interview finished took up to 35 to 40 minutes. Some students within 15 to 20 minutes also interview finished. Yeah, anything else? If you have to ask anything, how to register for one-to-one and sitting training, and Martin Diori, you can send the message to this number, and whoever registered for the interview program, whether ACS, today you can see majority are present here are the ACS students, and whether you are a ACS student, not a student, you will get a call and you will get a slot to have the one-to-one training plus this one. Is Assamese reading is needed for the interview? Assamese reading means an Assamese newspaper reading, or you are talking. For example, one thing is the reading. Sometimes they might ask you, what is your hobby? If you are telling reading is my hobby, you should have one book you have read recently. They might ask you the analysis of the book. Sometimes that might also come as a question, what is your hobby? In UPSC interview, it is a common thing, question on hobby. If you are telling traveling is my hobby, they will ask you which place you recently visited. You should not be telling that I recently visited Guwahati, it is my own place. No, you should have, if traveling is your hobby, you should have made at least some 5 journey in the life. Without that, don't tell traveling is my hobby. And if you are telling anything, watching cricket is my hobby, they might ask you certain questions on certain recent cricket matches. Then you should be able to answer those questions. Then Assamese reading Assamese newspaper sometimes good only on that day. And I don't know, literature, if you are not much interested in literature, only for interview you don't need to read the literature. If you are going to tell reading literature is my hobby, then you should read something. Anything else? Yeah, okay, then I think there are no more questions and we can wind up the session. Mr. Ashif, if you are live, you can make some conclusion and then we can wind up the session for today. Very soon, all of you, any idea about Assamese proficiency test, that will not be there in the interview because it is not declared. Something undeclared will not be there in the interview. You will be given the freedom to answer the questions in any, how to answer again. If they are asking question in Assamese medium, then better you answer in Assamese. If they are asking question in English, then better you answer in English. You show that you have the skill in both the languages. Yeah, that should be the strategy of answering the question. And Martin Theory and anybody else?
Okay, then thank you all for attending this session, and we really appreciate everybody for joining this session. That was because I can see full attendance in this small session that we have organized. Now, Dr. Sajid has already explained you all the details and the future plan that we have. So from tomorrow, let's start your interview training. And once you get your admit card, we will also plan in a different way how we can call you up to Guwahati and inform you about different way of training in this particular session. Anyway, stay tuned with us and we will be giving you all the updates in the WhatsApp group. So from there itself, we will get all the information, but stay connected with us with the WhatsApp group. So all the information that we need to refer to you all will be informed in the group itself, right?
Okay, then we can wind up the session now. And if you have any questions, you can contact us and by the WhatsApp or by any other medium, and you can communicate with us during the one-to-one training. All the students, I guarantee, those who are present here, I will do personally, and Mr. Ashif will also do one-to-one training initially. Then we will go for the mock interview. That will definitely boost your confidence. Thank you all. We'll meet again. Until then, bye.